A word for our listeners. Achtung Cthulhu is set in the 1930s and 40s. We will be using terms and sayings from those times, including some that could be considered offensive. It is not our intention to offend. We merely wish to offer as accurate a view of the time period as possible. Welcome to Masks of Nyarlathotep, a Nerd's Domain gaming podcast. Join us each week as our investigators uncover the corruption of the mythos in World War II. Starring George Chimbles, Phil Durham, Rob Walker, Jestin Kimmet, Shirley Nedzwicki, and Scott Troiano, with Matt Quiett running the table as the keeper. Eldritch evils and crazed Nazi cultists await you just beyond this music.
Hi everybody, and welcome to a bonus quick creation episode of Masks of Nyarlathotep. This week we're going to be replacing Professor Dr. John Washington with, what was your character's name again, Phil?
Corporal Brian Blake.
So Corporal Blake will be joining us. Phil chose to retire his character.
For the time being.
Potentially coming back. Potentially, who knows what's going to happen. But this will give him a more military-minded character, and I think you're already invested a little more into the story as well.
Yeah.
So why don't you tell us? So the first thing we did was we went through and got some stats up for you. So why don't we go through your main stats up at the top, and you can just tell us where you put numbers, so we kind of get an idea of what he looks like, and explain that along.
Right. So out of the 3d6 rolls, I put the highest one in Dex, and that was a 14.
Okay.
I kind of wanted him to be, since I'm kind of going with this military mindset, and I think in one of the previous episodes I kind of talked about the fact that I kind of wanted him to be a church-trained, specific, hunt down the Cthulhu-type investigator. He's kind of got this litheness to him and that dexterity. And then I had two 12s, so I put those into strength and con. As a fighter, I felt that he needed to have some strength and have some constitution there. And then the other two of those rolls that I had left were for power and for appearance, and I had 9s left for those, since I kind of wanted him to really be combat focused. That is where those went.
Okay, so you are easy to follow orders. You don't have a super strong force of will to really lead. You are a little more of a follower.
He's been indoctrinated into the church,
and you are not the prettiest gentleman when you first meet people.
No, I ended up getting a size of 15, so I'm big, but I'm still kind of lithe. I'm one of those rare breeds you'll sometimes see of those athletes where they're big and they move around and they can surprise you sometimes.
Okay. And so with your intelligence, what did that and your education, what does that look like?
13 and 15. So the church obviously spent a lot of time teaching me specifically kind of about Cthulhu and about combat and those types of things, but also mythos and occult. Okay.
So you've got some knowledge. Probably you are more knowledgeable than you are intelligent, clearly. So that puts you at what, 45 sanity? That's your max?
Yeah. Which
makes you a little susceptible to what's coming. So let's talk about your skills. We made you an infantryman. That's officially your occupation, although doesn't quite fit exactly what you did. So I gave you a couple other skills. I think I gave you theology,
yes,
and occult, and I want to say something else.
I've got institutional lore, but I think
that was the other one. Yeah.
Okay.
That was the third one. That one was just specifically for the Catholic Church, but whether or not you put anything into it was up to you. So where did you put your numbers?
So I put I invested in occult, since I felt that he would need to know about what it was he was trained to fight. And then we kind of discussed things, and since my background was that he was going to be specifically going after Cthulhu-type things in his training from the church, you did award me 20 points in Cthulhu mythos, and that subsequently limited my maximum sanity, though with my power it didn't necessarily make a direct impact.
Right.
I invested in dodge because I kind of was going for that combat approach. I invested in fieldcraft and hide. I wanted him to be someone that could attack from the shadows.
So you grabbed fieldcraft and hide?
Yeah.
You shouldn't need both.
Okay.
Hide actually you won't need at all because it's already in fieldcraft.
Okay. Well, those will go somewhere else.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. I'm sorry. I should have checked over that real quick just to make sure we were good.
All right, and so then we've got occult. I put into sneak.
Sneak is also covered under fieldcraft, so we'll need to put those somewhere else as well. Not a big deal.
Yeah. I didn't put any into institutional lore since I kind of saw it as kind of this set off sect that he was in that wasn't necessarily a big part of the church.
Okay. Well, it would be more of institutional lore would be like, well, where's the library and who would be in charge of that? And that kind of basic knowledge of an institute doesn't mean you have to have it. Just that's the basic idea.
I did give him a 50 in theology because I wanted him to obviously know the church and have that faith and background there. I might increase this more with some of the points that I have now. I had spot hidden up to a 43. Okay. Because being able to spot signs specifically kind of for Cthulhu, those types of things, I thought that would be important.
Yeah.
And then a lot of my other points went into combat type skills. So I did close combat. I think that he needed to be trained to be able to use and pick up anything to try to go kill things. And then I decided that while infantrymen gave him rifle, I gave him handgun. I thought that he was going to be, carrying a rifle is a lot more overt. So I kind of wanted, handgun could be something that would be more concealed. And then I bumped up fist and grapple. Just kind of, he's going to be more, not necessarily always hand to hand, but more. Not necessarily spy, but more. I'm going to covertly try to take you out. Then
I'm for free because everybody else is at a little bit of a leg up, and I want to kind of start you at the same level because you would have had at least a little experience. Let's go ahead and bump your spot hidden up to, let's say, a 60, and let's bump your listen up from wherever it's at up by another 30. That way you're good at hearing, and you're going to be aware of your surroundings as well as being able to hide and such. And then we're going to give you, let's say, 10% in espionage. You're not great at it. You're just starting to learn it, but you do have a little bit.
Okay.
And then you can divide the rest of those points that we took out of hide and sneak and put them wherever you'd like. But we just wanted to make sure that we had a basic idea of your character. So you are Irish. From Ireland, like you were born in Ireland and probably brought into the church there.
Yes, I'm not going to
Which
at all.
Ireland?
That is a fair question.
My player is not, or me,
your
player is not.
Are
related.
you Catholic?
Yes.
So Ireland.
No.
Then what's the question?
North Ireland or Ireland?
Ireland. I just said that.
Yeah, but Catholics come from North Ireland as well.
No, they don't. That's all Protestants, man.
That's why there's no sectarian violence?
None. Zero.
How would that work if there was just Protestants?
It just doesn't happen.
Because Ireland is neutral during World War II.
Yeah, it is.
So that's something to keep in mind.
So George is right. If you came from Northern Ireland, you would come from a much rougher background as a Catholic.
Northern Ireland it is.
Okay. So that'd be like Belfast, kind of the feel for that. It is a smaller area compared to all of Ireland, but it's not that small. I can't give a good comparison because I can't really think of...
I mean, raised in the church, I'm thinking very much orphan. He doesn't know who his parents are. Very cloistered in the church. So not non-traditional. I guess the idea being not that he is a spy like James Bond, but kind of he got plucked in there and separate from everybody else. He was raised to do this specifically, and he sees it as his life. Not he didn't go to school with other kids. Any other kids he was exposed to were all kind of in this program, and so
and then you were at some point probably what did you give yourself an age?
I did write down 26.
Okay, so probably around 22. So about 4 years ago, because we're jumping forward to 1939. So about 4 years ago, when the Catholic Church saw that things are going a little strange, they sent you to America to enlist. And there were some strings pulled so that there weren't a lot of questions asked, but it's clear that you're Irish. You have a thick accent, which you may or may not choose to do.
I'm not going to attempt it.
That's fine. but your character will have a thick accent, and
Yes,
you
character.
learn some basic combat, and you became a corporal within the United States military. All the while, you are aware that you're being kind of groomed to be something else, and you're not sure quite what it is, but the church tells you it's going to be fine. So
I'm
you
being
just
groomed
go
by the
along with
church
that.
or by the U.S. Army?
By the church to
Okay.
do something within the U.S. Army.
Okay.
And that's actually where you're going to be approached by the FBI to join them. And this is at the behest of whatever bishop you're answering to.
So I know the church wants me to follow
Yes,
this. Okay.
absolutely. To join a special team.
I am not Catholic, and so
Yeah.
I don't know the structure of the Catholic Church, and so I will now have to ask, does that strike my character as odd that I'm getting this from a bishop?
That's the way you've always been trained, and to understand that you will be handed off to different bishops in different areas who understand what the program is.
Okay, so-
And it's always called the program.
Okay.
All right. Well, do you guys have any questions for Phil about his character, about the concept, about what's going on?
How do they incorporate elder gods and various other entities into their cosmology? Do they just view them as just being demons?
I may not have thought that far.
That's okay.
yet.
I have.
Okay.
You see them as fallen angels, which could mean demon, but specifically they were at one time divine instruments of God and have chosen to leave with Lucifer. So the church isn't sure, but maybe Lucifer is this Cthulhu creature, and he has been asleep. Maybe he's one of these other creatures that they talk about, an Azathoth or a Nyarlathotep. Who knows?
And if you ask my character about it, and we can roleplay it out, the kind of answers you'll get will kind of the very textbook statement answers, and if you kind of try to get me to think about those critically, you're kind of just going to get me to just kind of keep repeating you. My instructor said that this is what it is, and I mean we could certainly roleplay that out and see if that happens where you can actually get him to think critically about it, but just kind of based on his power and based on the indoctrination of you do what you're told, he's just kind of said they told me they're bad guys, go kill them, and I will go kill the bad guys. In some ways, about what I read about these, especially something like Cthulhu mythos or a cult, it's less about the cognitive processes that you have available to you as much as what factual information as a knowledge base do you have. Okay. And so I think that I can have a 20 in Cthulhu mythos, and I can spout off all this information I have about various creatures, yada, yada, yada. But I can still just be facts that I know, and I can just have my teacher told me that these things are fallen angels.
Well, and the other thing that you're going to also quickly learn is that even if you know everything, 99% of Cthulhu mythos, which means you have that one sanity and you see a dude trip down and fall down some stairs and die, you're gone crazy. Even if you have a 99, you don't fathom what the Cthulhu mythos really is because it is so alien it cannot be understood by human minds. So even at 20, where he really knows a ton compared to everything, he doesn't know anything. All right, well, that'll do us for this bonus episode. Thank you, guys, and we'll talk to you real soon. Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Masks of Nyarlathotep. I apologize for the audio quality on this. Our board is currently in the shop getting fixed, but this is going to be a quick creation session with Rob.
Hello.
You just heard a creation session with Phil, where he made his wonderful character. So we're going to make Rob's character... What's your character's name?
William Thomas.
PhD.
That's PhD, not Dr. Thomas. Yeah.
So we're going to go through a quick character creation. This will be quicker than the original character creations, just to save some time. And you guys know how this kind of goes, but then we'll see how William Thomas comes to be. So, Rob, the first thing we're going to have you do is roll 3d6 5 times. Just write those numbers down.
Okay, first one was 12. Second one was 15. Making sure I'm doing my math right.
Adding is hard.
Yeah, very hard. Third one is 15.
You have 2 more.
Oh, 5 times.
5 times.
I got 3 stuck in my head. That was 6.
Ooh.
8, 9.
Let's move that 6 to an 8 real quick. Just
Okay.
8 is still low, but I don't want you crippled in any way. Then separately, you're going to roll 2d6 and add 6.
9, so 15.
Okay, and then do it again.
Okay.
So it looks like 13.
Okay.
And then actually that one you could just leave it alone. Yeah, that's fine. Never mind. And then roll 3d6 plus 3. You know what that is? Really high.
19.
Yeah, that's good. 19. So then that one's going to sit by itself. So the first 5 are going to go into strength, con, power, dex, and appearance.
Okay. My choosing?
Yes. So I would suggest power with the way your character, we were talking about your character, your power needs to be high. Really needs to be high. The only thing that doesn't need to be high is probably appearance. Actually, it's the only thing that really needs to be high. The rest of them we can deal with.
I'm going last always. And the Constitution is not going to be much health.
The 2 separate numbers here are your size and intelligence, your choice.
Oh, I thought that wasn't
That should be
intelligence.
your power. Yeah.
Strength and power?
Yep.
Okay.
Intelligence
So that needs to be that.
and size.
Summon.
And then the last one is your education. Okay, so now you're going to have a chance to take 3 points from one and move it to another 3 times. So, for instance, you could take 3 points from your strength and move it over to your intelligence. The maximum for anything other than education is 18. The maximum for education is 21. And 21 really says that you are on top of exactly what you need for that.
Okay. So if I'm swapping... Yeah. Intelligence needs more points.
Intelligence needs more points. Your power might need another point or 2. Your size does not... 13 size is a big, kind of brawny guy. You don't necessarily need that.
No.
Your strength also probably doesn't need it, but that's just me.
It's guaranteed 3 points, just 3 points over, or up to 3 points?
Up to 3 points.
Okay. So I could do 2 here, take that to 13, put that at 17. That was strength into power. Strength 13, power to 17. And I did intellect up to 18, took my size down.
And then the only other thing that might need some is your education, but 19 is still a good, solid number there. You're going to get a lot of points out of that. It's just up to you whether you want to do that.
We'll do 16 power, and we'll do 20 added.
That'll put you at 20 there. Okay, perfect. So we'll touch on derivatives later when we have a full character sheet. Your character is going to be 35.
Yep.
So that's you were a graduate student until you were 28 when you got your PhD. Spent 2 years as in FBI training, or a year in full training, and then a year in the field with a trainer, and then the last 5 years you've been in the FBI. At some point in the last 5 years, because we're doing another character creation for Jesse. Is that right? Yeah, we're doing another character creation for Jesse. Sometime in the last 5 years, you would have met a German man who is known to be undercover for the British among the allied, quote unquote, allied countries. He has been feeding you information from Germany. Just you two hit it off, hit the right notes. And so that's another reason that the FBI really values you, is because that information comes in through you. They understand that you have a contact. You kind of kept it quiet, not completely silent, but not a lot of people know who you have connections with. But that does lead you to more prestige within the FBI. The more information at this point that you bring to the FBI, the better your options are for what you get to do. So next we would look at hit points. We'll skip that.
Yeah, we can come back to that.
We'll skip luck, idea, and knowledge because that's not a big deal. Really what we need to do is determine your occupation and your skills. So to do that, though, we're going to take you through character creation for a espionage character. So It looks like the best option we would have would either be professor or doctor. It would be a matter of the skill lists for you, and they are in here. I just have to grab them real quick. There we go.
Okay.
And then we'll be adding some things on top of that you'll be getting.
Professor, probably.
Okay, that's fine. I just didn't know which one. So write those down, the ones that were on that list. So bargain, credit rating, library use.
Okay. Lib use.
Sorry. Other language.
Probably Latin. Actually, I don't know.
You get to choose as many as you want, so I wouldn't worry about that. Persuade, psychology, and then 2 from the following. And I'm actually let you take. So we talked about biology.
It'll be biology and chemistry.
And chemistry. Go ahead and throw anthropology on there as well.
Okay.
And natural history. Sorry.
Biochem, nat hist, and archaeology, anthropology. Archaeology. At this time, probably archaeology.
It's anthropology, study of human behavior.
That's not what archaeology would be more apt to the character, because he's really excited about the new findings, the weird bones and weird things. So, in case people don't know, I'm taking a cryptozoological approach to the character. He is using the FBI to his own benefit. So, you guys get some insight. We'll leave that as an A, and we'll leave it up in the air. And then I'll figure that out. Yeah, I'll figure that out.
That's fine. Also, just real quick, add on occult, espionage. Yeah, those 2.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll leave those 2 because everything else applies. And then we're gonna kind of smash your stuff together because I'm gonna give you. We just went over doctor or professor. I'm also gonna look at the FBI agent here and see what they get because there are bonuses in the Achtung Cthulhu book that you won't get. That's not right. Due to your suspicious nature, you get a bonus called Nobody's Fool. Due to your suspicious nature, you are relatively immune to fast talk and persuade. So that's something that will come up later, and we'll deal with that and how exactly that works. But that's typically just for what do you call that? That's typically just for NPCs using it on you.
Cool.
And then what we're going to do is we're going to take your... Wow, I lost the page. We're going to take your education times 20. So that's 400.
Okay.
And you're going to have that to disperse across these...
Of course.
These skills. And you're going to start with a base, so keep that in mind. The base is listed in the brackets next to everything.
Okie dokie.
So
bargaining, you're not going to be...
Credit rating might be a little high, but doesn't need to be super high.
Okay, so the default credit rating is 15, so we'll do 50 for now. I'll think about that. So that puts me down to 365. Mm-hmm. Math hard. Alright, so library use would be high. About a 70.
What's your base on library use?
Library use is 25.
So that puts you at 320.
Yeah, okay. Okay. So now
let's look at let's look at your actual
library uses
professor things before we touch on other languages or whatever else that is, because I can barely read that scroll.
You don't have to. I do.
Look at biology. I would say chemistry, because I can always flub some numbers for the other stuff here later.
75, 75, 75, and 75. We'll figure out the numbers from those. Okay, so biology is 1, so that's 74. And then chemistry is also 74. This is taking a lot of points.
Mm-hmm.
It's hungry. Natural history is probably 1, I'm going to guess.
No, it's a little higher.
Oh, it's 10. Okay, so that's 65. And the A tab, they're both 1, so the other one I choose at the end will be 74.
So that's 225, 290, 280. It's actually 287.
287.
287.
Okay,
So that leaves you with 33.
33. That's not many points.
That's okay. So what I would suggest is don't worry about espionage or occult right now. We'll skip those because I'm going to give you some here in a minute.
Okay.
What's that? Persuade and what?
Psychology. Depends on if I do anthropology or archaeology. I'd still say...
We're going to give you a 30 in a couple of languages just for free, so don't worry about that right now.
Okay.
So just skip other language.
I put 30 for free. Yay. So don't forget.
So persuade... So the other... I guess the other 33 points is put it in whatever you want. Just don't worry about other language, occult, or espionage.
What does psychology start at? 5. All right, 38 in psychology.
Okay. Perfect. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take your intelligence, which is
18.
18 times 10. It's 180 points. That's to put anywhere. You can put that in anything you'd like. One of the things we talked about is spot hidden. I'd like to see you have some in there, so put some in spot hidden.
All right, so spot hidden is going to have 75, which will leave me with 130.
Okay.
So, and that makes sense because he's doing forensics for the FBI.
This would also be the point where I would have you put stuff in specifically occult.
Okay, so we'll put 45 in occult to give me 50.
Okay. That'll leave you, 85 points, and you put those wherever you want, whatever you want to do to round out the character.
Okay.
Actually,
90 points in survival.
You don't need survival.
No?
No, that's like worst case scenario, like man on the mountain kind of survival. Not.
Oh no, I don't need that. Well,
yet you don't need it yet.
Okay, so espionage we're gonna take to.
I wouldn't worry about. You don't have to worry about espionage. If you want to bump it, that's fine.
Are you just gonna?
Yeah, I was just gonna give you some espionage.
Don't know how much you can give me.
50.
You give me 50?
It'll start at 50.
Okay, I'll take 50 points in that. That's a good start. That's a good.
Same thing with your handgun. You're going to start with a 60 in handgun.
60 in handgun?
Yeah, because you can't get through FBI training without learning how to shoot, and 60 is a decent shot. So
okay.
So that still leaves you 85 points to kind of throw where you'd like. A couple of things we might suggest theology, because some of the occult stuff does bleed over into theology. Theology is just more of a structured religion. It doesn't necessarily have to be Christianity or anything specifically.
What is that base on that? 5, okay, so that's 20, so it puts me at 65.
And then might also consider...
think what his hobbies would be. He doesn't have hobbies. He thinks all the time.
You might consider history or medicine.
Actually, medicine is probably the right one. Medicine probably needs to take the rest of them.
Okay.
Because he's doing forensics. So, maybe 70.
70, that's all of it? Okay. So, for other languages, we're going to give you 3.
Okay.
Latin is going to be 1. So, you can read Latin. Sometimes you have to really focus to get what you're getting. German is going to get you 30 as well. And then choose a language you'd like other than, obviously, English that you'll have.
I don't know. That's tricksy. Tricksy like a hobbit. What would my English be naturally?
I believe it's your education or intelligence times 5. Hold on. Sorry, I'm looking for it. I don't remember where it's at on this sheet. Own language, education times 5, so it'd be a 99. You literally cannot speak better English.
Okay. Alright, then we want... can I split it between Latin and German?
If you want, that may not be the most useful in the end. Remember, you're going to Europe where other languages are very, very helpful.
I wouldn't do French, I'd do Greek.
Greek is fine.
Greek. Actually, that makes sense because of the Greek mythos.
Yep. Okay, so that is the basics of that part. There's some other derived numbers that we would normally figure out. So, like, your hit points would be your size plus your con divided by 2 plus 5, but really it's just your size plus your con. So that would make it 19, which is decent hit points. We have a little more hit points in this. Your your sanity is going to be an 80. Oh, that's the other thing. Write down Cthulhu Mythos.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to get 15 points in that.
That's not safe.
Nope. Which means that your maximum sanity ever is 84 now. So, like, even if you start doing well and, like, your power goes up, you're not going to go up.
Good.
So, your sanity would be an 80. That's your max. Your hit points are 19. I'm missing something. Oh, your magic points are 16. Derived. All those are good. I gave you a base of 50 of espionage. We went over that. Did you put spot hidden on there? You did.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, that is the basics. All right, well, thank you guys for listening, and keep an eye out, or an ear out. We'll be releasing our first few episodes soon.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
For Chapter 2 of the Achtung Cthulhu. Talk to you guys real soon. Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Masks of Nyarlathotep. I'm here with Jesse.
Hi.
And we're going to make his new character for this next chapter in the Achtung Cthulhu storyline. Jesse, are you you have some information about your character? Let's get your name, your character name, and just a brief background about your character.
Okay, I am Albrecht von Trotha, one of the two sons of Lothar von Trotha. My father's done some pretty dark things in his history, including atrocities during the Herero Wars and suppressing the Boxer Rebellion.
Yeah, that's Trotha, right?
Is it Trotha? It is Trotha.
There's an A.
It is.
There's an A
A
at the end, yeah.
Well, I'll be.
That's surprising.
Wow.
Huh.
How did I not
Weird.
that? I thought it was an E. I spelled it wrong on Google and it fixed it for me. Yes, Trotha. That's why I couldn't find it on the map.
So you are very much German.
Yes. My father was married twice. The last time to a Jewish daughter of a Frankfurt banker who lived in London. My brother is a hardline German. I don't necessarily follow the same path.
Okay. And you're going to be operating as a double agent within Germany for MI6, the British intelligence agency.
Yes.
Okay, so let's get some character creation done. You're going to roll 3d6 5 times.
Okay.
Are you going to note those as you go?
3d6. I can, now that you asked me to.
Please do.
Okay. Wow. I hate random number generators.
This is why I told you to get dice.
Yeah. So that's the first one. How many of them do I do?
5?
Really? That can't be. Oh, no. Hold on. Give me a second here. I got to calculate now.
Why do you have to calculate?
6, 12, 13, 18. So 3 to 18 would be 3. 6,
yes.
Okay, because I was getting like 4 every time I did it, but I was doing it between 3 and 6.
No.
Oh, that's still not much better.
Okay, so tell us what you're getting as you're going.
I got an 8.
Okay.
I got a 3.
No, reroll that one.
Okay. I got a 12. Hey,
there you go.
That's at least in the upper spectrum. And I got a 15.
Okay, 2 more.
A 12?
Mm-hmm.
This isn't horrible. I don't mind being average. And a 4. Never mind.
Roll down again.
And a 3.
Nope. Keep going.
7?
No, one more time.
17.
We'll take that one.
All right.
So, lightly, we're going to assign those to strength, con, power, dex, and appearance. Do you have a preference?
I want to be good in fieldcraft. What would that be based off of?
Nothing. Because remember, stats or skills don't base off of characteristics.
You're right.
Your straight knowledge comes off of intelligence. POW would be important for you because it's power of will, and as I think we discussed, you being an artist, that is important to you as well. That's also going to be where your sanity comes from. So.
Okay, yeah, that's always good to have a high one. I'll do 17 in that.
Okay, and then
what's my hit points done off of?
Con and size. Size we haven't rolled yet.
Okay, my con will be 15 then.
Okay, you're a healthy young lad.
Yeah, I'm tired of dying. What are the other 3 remaining options?
Dexterity, appearance, and strength.
Ooh.
You don't need to be strong, so you could put that 8 in strength.
I was thinking about making strength my dump stat. Yeah. We'll put the 8 in strength and the 12 in the other 2.
Okay, so that's dexterity
and
appearance.
Double agents need to at least be somewhat attractive.
Or at least passably not ugly so that people don't go, whoa,
exactly.
Remember that guy?
Yeah,
okay.
The one with all the scars.
So now you're going to roll 2d6 plus 6. So, by the way, this would be 8 to 18 on your random number generator.
Okay, good.
You're going to roll that twice, once for size, once for strength.
Okay, do I get to assign them, or do I just say size first?
You'll assign them.
Okay, well, the first one was a 16, so that's a good sign. And an 18. Wow.
Hey, there you
go. So this is between size and what?
Intelligence.
I thought I put the 17 in. No.
Nope, you put that in power.
Oh, then I'll put 18 in. Intelligence is your skills, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll put 18 in intelligence.
And then education is 3d6 plus 3. That's going to be 6 to 18, or 6 to 21. I'm sorry, 6 to 21.
Glad you're better at math than I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a 6.
No, roll that again.
10.
You got to be kidding me. Come on.
15.
There we go. We'll take that. Now, we can move some numbers around. I think that's a solid character,
actually,
honestly.
I do like that. Yeah, it works fine.
Smarter than you are educated, which is not a problem. So we're going to take your con plus your size, divided by 2, and then we're going to add 5. So you have a 32 divided by 2 is 16. No, wow, really?
That's my hit points, right?
32 divided by 2 is 16. Plus 5 is 21. Yeah, you're a hulking monstrosity. You're going to be able to take some hits.
It's not exactly how I envisioned it, but it works. I mean, I'm happy with it.
Yeah. You're going to get 17 magic points. Your sanity is going to be a good number, 85.
Nice.
That's also your luck, which is good. Your idea is actually a 90. Your knowledge is going to be 75. So that makes your starting sanity, what did we say, 85. Unfortunately, we're going to say that the thing we talked about, your experiences that brought you here, we're going to knock off 5 for that.
Okay. Does that mean I start off with other skill?
No.
Oh.
Yeah. We're going to give you 2 in that.
Okay.
Enough that it's no good.
But it's there. I can roll it.
This is true. So, now that we've done that, and I'm going to put this 2 in Cthulhu Mythos, now we need to go over to your skills and tell you what your education skills are. So as an MI6 operative, you're going to want to write these down.
Okay.
Anthropology.
Okay.
Bargain. Conceal. Cryptography. Disguise. espionage, fast talk, handgun, hide, other language, and spot hidden, and then 2 other professional or personal interest skills. In this situation, I would suggest that be your art.
Okay.
Because those are going to be the things that you use to cover up what you're doing.
Yeah. Since we talked about art history, what would be skills associated?
Let's go ahead and put it just in art history.
Okay.
And then I would say maybe...
Is there an appraisal skill? I don't know if that would...
I don't believe so, because it just falls under whatever you're looking at. Let's go ahead and give you credit rating.
Okay.
So you're going to get your education times 20, which is going to be 300 skill points to put in those skills we just talked about.
Nice. Well, you mentioned the fact that there was another espionage character.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything he really focused on that I would be...
I would suggest you focus on espionage and cryptography.
Okay.
You're gonna have to pick up English as a second language.
Yeah.
I might. You know what? I'm just gonna give you English at a 50%, just for free, because I think that's it makes sense. And then we're also gonna give you Hebrew at a 75, because that's something you would have had to have learned as a child of a Jewish person.
Yeah.
Growing up, I mean, you just don't have a choice. And then own language is education times 5, which makes it. Numbers, it's just your knowledge. So, you speak German at a 75.
Okay, that makes sense. I'm about as good at Hebrew as I am German.
Yeah. So espionage, I highly suggest. Cryptography, spot hidden, and hide are going to be important because you don't get fieldcraft. Military characters get fieldcraft, and that's what hide and spot hidden kind of cover.
Okay.
And disguise. Disguise would probably also be important.
What does handgun start off at?
20.
Oh. I'll do... What does espionage encompass? When would the role be necessary?
Everything. Anytime you're looking for an espionage thing, so if you're looking for signs that someone's in trouble... you've been playing Fallout?
Yeah.
You know all those markers that they told you had to memorize and you really didn't?
Yeah.
In the railroad? That's all espionage.
Okay. Like the
they're just not...
and the...
Yeah, they're just not that overly obvious. It's also hand signals and reading a situation to see what's going on there if it's an espionage situation. It's a lot of stuff.
What's it start out at?
1.
Okay, I'll put 79 into it.
Okay.
Let me see.
You're keeping track of your numbers?
I'll put 80 in it, so I'll make it 81, so it's easier for me to keep math.
Okay.
I'll put...
So your spot hidden starts at 25.
I'll boost spot hidden up to 80 also. So 25 would be 60, 50, 55?
55. Mm-hmm. Conceal, disguise, hide, all 3 really good ones. And remember, you get some other skill points after this too, so don't fret if this is the only thing.
Let's see. I'll put disguise. Disguise sounds like a thing that if I want to do it, I want it to work. I'll put 80 in it all. Does it start with anything?
It starts with 1.
Yeah, I'll put 80 in it also.
Okay.
80 leaves me with 85 points.
I would suggest dropping your disguise. Hold on. Let's drop your disguise down to 70 and your espionage down to 70. And your spot hidden down to 70. So you get 30 points back there. So you have 115 points to use now.
Okay. That actually...
That way you have a little bit more wiggle room.
I have how many? 115?
Yes.
Okay. Because I haven't put anything in cryptography yet either.
That starts at 0.
I'll put 60.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, cryptography starts at 1. Yeah,
I'll
go
put
ahead.
60 into it.
Okay.
So that's 61 minus 60 leaves me with 55. I'll put half. No, it's better to be good at something than half good at two things. I'll put. Well, if I have disguise, I really don't need to hide. I'll put 55 in a conceal.
Okay.
And that should
Sorry,
clear
just
me
a
out.
second. Now, conceal starts at 15, so that'll put you at 70.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah, that's actually better. Yeah. Because I'm trying to think of things that where if I roll it and I fail, I'll still think I passed and die. They need to be high.
Yeah. So we didn't touch on history, which is not a problem, and we didn't touch on
no credit rating.
Credit rating. But again, credit rating starts at 15. It's not that big of a deal, and there's going to come a point where your name is going to mean very, very little.
Yeah.
So don't worry about credit rating right now. It won't be a big deal.
Yeah.
So let's go with your intelligence times 10. So that's 180 points you have to spend on anything. I would highly suggest putting something in art history.
Yeah. Art history I'll put up to...
it starts at 5.
I'll put it up to 50.
Okay. So you've spent 45 there.
Yeah.
You should be at least a little bit better with your handgun. So maybe dropping 30 in there so it's out of 50.
I'll put 35 into it to drop me down to 100 so that they'll raise it to 55. That's a little better than half. 50-50 chance.
Yeah. The only other thing... I mean, there's a ton of stuff on here.
I don't have anything in hide yet.
You don't. This is true.
I've never really been good at fast talking anyway, so I don't see being able to pull that out role-playing wise.
Well, but Persuade you might want to pick up.
Persuade. Oh, yeah.
It starts at 15. Fast talk is the quick and fast kind of thing. Persuade is a long-term.
Yeah.
Or is a longer bird.
Persuade starts at 15. We'll boost it up to 50 then.
Okay.
So that'll drop me down to...
65.
I'll put 65 in. Now, having played Dungeons and Dragons as long as I have, is there a move silently I need with hide, or is hide the whole thing together?
No, hide's pretty much going to be it.
Okay.
And hide starts at 10%, so that'll put you at 75 there.
That'll work.
Okay. We're also going to, because everybody else has a little bit more than you, just because they've leveled up already. I'm going to... So your dodge would normally be at 2 times your dex, would be 24. I'm going to put it at a 35. So you're not great at it by any means.
No,
but you have something in it.
Yeah.
Same thing with listen. Listen starts off at a 25. I'm going to put it at a 40. Again, not great there, but you never know when listen might be important. And I'm going to bump your handgun up just to a straight 60.
Okay.
So not much more. And then everything else I think kind of covers it. Yeah, because you're not going to pick up any of those things. All right. So you also get a bonus, which we'll note on the back. It's called Gone Native. Essentially, your disguise skills are treated as easy for blending into the environment you're hiding in, but since it's your own country, that doesn't really work. So that one won't really apply much. But whatever.
Unless we do something else later on.
Yeah.
Assuming I survive the arc.
And then we'll leave off what kind of pistol you have, or what kind of gun you have, until later, because who knows what you'll pick up.
Yeah, it's the kind that shoots bullets.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know what I mean. There are a lot of different kinds of pistols.
I guarantee that with a Cthulhu game.
This is true. I'm going to fill out the rest of the sheet. Anything else you want to talk about your character?
That's about it I can say safely for now.
Okay. So we're leaving your character's background a little questionable because we want to reveal that during the game. But it's clear that you've had an encounter with the mythos, and you don't believe it, right?
Yeah, no.
So tell us what that looks like to you. What do you believe has happened?
I'm a logical individual. Just because I don't understand something doesn't mean it's magic. It could be happening through a different way, through a technology I don't know about, through hallucinogens or something.
Okay.
There's a whole lot of outward sources that could happen long before occultish things are actual to blame to it.
Okay.
So even if things happen in the game, like the other one, we can talk about the other game, right?
Yeah, go for it.
Like when the werewolf thing happened.
Yeah.
I would try to find a way to rationalize that.
Okay. So how do you feel about your country? I don't know if we touched on that much. Tell us why, I guess.
I am disenchanted with the establishment, primarily for what my father's done, and the fact that not only was he not punished, but he was kind of looked up for doing it. And it looks like we're going back down that kind of a path again.
Okay. Which is ironic because I believe in 1933, so in 1933, you were a student at Dresden, at the University of Dresden, or Dresden University, whatever they call it there, as an art student, and the burning of the Reichstag happened, right?
Yeah.
And that's what caused you to decide that was kind of the last, that was the last bit. Also, you found out that the Nazis renamed a street in Munich von Trotha. And that also probably sat very poorly with you, right?
Yes.
Sorry, I'm not trying to put words in your mouth. I just want to give our listeners a little more understanding. And since then, what have you been doing? Since you went to England, what did you do there?
I try to find people who are working against the government. Kind of like what we talked about before, but we can't talk about. It'll all make sense later.
So you were looking for people that were willing to work against Germany.
Yeah, it's not so much that I never planned to go to be German again. It's like you said, going native. I have literally gone native with England.
Okay.
I'm disenchanted with Germany 100%. Even if they were to get rid of the Nazi Party in 1934, it would continue the way it always has been. Something worse is going to come along.
Okay, and that's what drove you to join join MI6.
Yeah.
Okay, and you are relatively young at the start of this chapter. It's going to be 1939, and you are 26 at that time.
Yeah. So I'm impressionable enough to believe that my thoughts matter. And
okay. Well, good news. Ironically, you are big enough that regardless of how weak you are, you actually get a plus D6 or plus D4 on your damage rolls. But otherwise, we've kind of figured up your character. You've lost a little bit of sanity. You have definitely lost. Your Cthulhu mythos is starting to bring you down, so that's always good. But you are ripe and ready to be a magician and to take some hits.
Yep.
So, there's that.
It's always good to go down the magician path in a Cthulhu game.
Yeah, why not? I mean, I hear the last one we had went really, really well.
Nothing could go wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, well, Jesse, that's been us building your character. We will be starting our chapter 2 of our first arc here shortly, so keep an ear out for that, and we'd be happy to have you guys listening. And otherwise, there should be 2 other creation sessions here. I recorded these all kind of randomly different times, so if this is the last one, I'll put an intro or an exit here, and you won't have to worry about it. Otherwise, you have a great day, and listen to our next creation session coming up right away.
And that will do it for us tonight on the Nerds Domain Presents Masks of Nyarlathotep. Remember, you can email us at nerdsdomain@gmail.com or find us on facebook.com/nerdsdomain, on Twitter @nerdsdomain, or over at our site nerdsdom.com. Be sure to sign up for the newsletter while you're there. You can head over to iTunes and give us a 5-star rating. We want to thank Josh Schott for our music. Don't forget, you can support us at patreon.com/nerdsdomain. And check out our shirts at slashloot.com.